Welcome to Martinis with Merit. My name is Merit Jacks, and I'm the founder of the podcast, Not Your Donkey. Friends who aren't buried in the news as I am have asked that I send out an update on what I'm reading either through the Twittersphere and in the news because they know they're not getting all the facts. When my friends and I sit down for a martini or a glass of wine or even just a simple cup of coffee, they know I'll catch them up on the latest goings-on, and there's just so much that they don't know what to believe or how to absorb it or where to even go to learn more. It feels a bit overwhelming, and so they asked me to put a weekly clip like this together because it just makes their head spin to hear all the craziness of the world around us. In my Substack posts, I write on a number of topics and try to weave it all together. But here at Martinis with Merit, I'm just going to sit back and give you a few updates on what's been happening, things that will make your head go spinny. Anyway, there are really just teasers in here because you can go and learn about more or maybe even chat over a martini or a cup of coffee with your own friends. Explore, question, learn, challenge. It's all good. And what I've done for you is put the links in the show notes so you can go and learn more about what I'm speaking to and maybe go down your own rabbit hole. Head spinny thingy number 1, Elon Musk. Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing, and it seems to have evolved into a new form, which is even more virulent and violent. Musk Derangement Syndrome. In this past 2 weeks, Elon Musk and his nerdy Doge team have uncovered vast amounts of what seem to be corrupt funding practices at USAID, and you'd think that somebody somewhere in the Democratic Party would say, thanks, that's really good that we're going to save people tax dollars. But anyway, USAID has been taking billions upon billions of dollars away from the American taxpayer. I point out in my Substack what I wrote recently called About Nobodies regarding Oliver Anthony's wonderful song and how nobody came to help the people of North Carolina because FEMA, the American organization that's supposed to help Americans during disaster times, sent tons of money, millions upon millions of dollars to New York to house illegal migrants in 4-star hotels and so on. It's absolutely ridiculous, but go and read it at the Substack. Anyway, Elon Musk was once the darling of the left because he and Tesla were going to save the world from climate catastrophe. But now he's so hated that once civilized people can't even control their rage against him, and anyone who happens to sell or own a Tesla is equally targeted. I have to add a head spinny thingy number 1.1 here. Did you realize that Tesla owners are actually being hunted down? A website's been set up that doxes Tesla owners, and it provides them people's home addresses and personal details like telephone numbers and so on. And, you know, people who have nothing to do with Elon Musk directly, like people who own dealerships are having their dealerships set on fire and lots of vandals and damages to their equipment, and also people shout and scream at Tesla owners. And one woman was even abruptly stopped on a busy road by a man who cut her off, got out of his car, he was masked of course, brave soul, and told her to sell her car. He was threatening, and it was a very ugly and scary scene, and I'm glad that she had her dash cam on. I think I'm going to have to get a dash cam soon. Anyway, there's lots of terrible things happening, and yet the left, who once had Elon Musk in their arms as the savior of the world, now feels that because of his association with the orange man, that they have to now go after not only him, but the innocent people who mostly are on the left as well, who bought all those Teslas, telling them to sell the Teslas. Now, why would you tell someone to sell a Tesla so you can go after the next Tesla owner? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, it really makes your head spin, and really, people, the Trump Musk derangement system has gone way too far. Head spinny thingy number 2. Elon Musk again. This time, it's for something incredible. Elon Musk sent a rocket ship to go and rescue American astronauts who'd been trapped in space for months upon months. There was some talk that the Biden administration didn't want Musk's help and wouldn't let him go to get those astronauts. But I've also heard that the rocket wouldn't be ready to rescue the astronauts until February 2025 anyway. Well, whatever the story is, the head spinny thing here is that humanity, through the person of Elon Musk, admittedly, sent a spaceship to a space station and rescued astronauts. I feel like I'm living in a sci-fi movie. As for head spinny thingy number 3, Mark Carney. Mark Carney. Okay, you haven't a clue who he is. Most of the world doesn't, and yet here in Canada, he's just been anointed as the leader of the Liberal Party, which means he's de facto Canada's new Prime Minister. And oh, by the way, most Canadians know nothing about this man. They just know that he is going to save Canada, which is an absolute outrageous joke. And I've got lots of stories on that as to why. But what I've done is I've included a link to a full expose on Mr. Carney himself, how he hasn't lived in Canada for the past 30 years, or most of the past 30 years, and how when he was in charge of the Bank of England, he managed to screw up the British economy. And how just like Trudeau and others in the Canadian government are stooges of the World Economic Forum, in my opinion, so is Carney. Like, I can't say he's a stooge, I don't know, but I do know he's deeply affiliated with the World Economic Forum and thinks that Greta Thunberg is the heavenly saint that has arrived from God to save the world from carbon. Anyway, of course, not mentioning that all of us are carbon products. But anyway, okay, I've included a link to where the head of the World Economic Forum, like a villain you'd expect in Austin Powers movies, says, okay, this is Klaus Schwab. And what I've done is put a link there so you can hear Klaus Schwab actually say in his nasty little German accent, and oh, by the way, I love Germans. I just hate the way this guy talks. We've penetrated the cabinet, he says. And he highlights in that horrible German accent. And again, I love German accents, but not the way he does it. And he had to highlight that half of Trudeau's government, half of the government of Canada, are young global leaders from the World Economic Forum. It's really too bad that they're not Canadian leaders, since they're really busy spending Canadian tax dollars. That could make your head go spin twice. So there we go. Did your head spin? The 3 things this week, just to summarize: 1, we hate Elon Musk because he's exposing corruption. 2, we hate Elon Musk even though his company, SpaceX, rescued those poor American astronauts and brought them home safely. And 3, a lot of Canadians are thrilled with the boring banker of the World Economic Forum and imagine he's gonna save the day. Yeah, he's going to save all of us Canadians. Actually, if he gets in, I really strongly feel Canada will fall apart because Alberta and Saskatchewan, 2 major players in the wealth of this country, are not going to have anything to do with it because it's just enough is enough as far as they're concerned. But anyway, even though so many Canadians are now scurrying about thinking he's going to save the day because he's this nice, polite Canadian, do they even know anything about him? And the answer is no, because when I speak to my friends who are thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to save us, they don't have a clue. So I would recommend that you click on the show notes and you learn more if you can. And by the way, check back next week for things that will make your head spin. In the meantime, you can check out my Substack at meritjacks.substack.com or follow me on Twitter. Podcasts, short and long, show up on Rumble and on the Not Your Donkey channel and on Spotify. Guess what? At the title called Not Your Donkey. Don't forget to like and follow. It helps really a lot. Until we meet again, remember, bray freely.